June 23, 1944. Mid-Atlantic. Position 15 degrees 16 minutes north, 40 degrees 07 minutes west. Lieutenant Jesse Taylor's TBF Avenger circles at 150 feet. Bay doors hiss open. A Mark 24 torpedo drops. Not just any torpedo, an acoustic hunter, codenamed FIDO. Below, Japanese submarine I-52 cruises at 200 feet. 112 souls aboard. 2,300 tons of cargo. Gold bars. Opium. Jet engine blueprints. The lifeline between Tokyo and Berlin. Captain Hankyu Sasaki orders emergency dive. 70-degree course change. Standard evasion. But this torpedo doesn't care about angles. It listens. Propeller noise at 24 kilohertz. The Mark 24 circles. Homes. Strikes. 680 pounds of torpedo. 92 pounds of torpex. 1 submarine destroyed. 5th Yanagi mission terminated. Germany loses 20% of tin imports. Japan loses irreplaceable submarine. This is how America hunted underwater. August 7, 1941. Bethpage, New York. Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation. Technicians secure hydraulic lines on the XTBF-1 prototype. Test equipment winds. Blueprints scatter across workbenches. The Douglas TBD Devastator has failed. 129 built. 35 lost at Midway. 86% casualty rate. Leroy Grumman oversees the project. Navy contract signed April 8, 1940. 2 prototypes ordered. Test pilot Robert Hall climbs into the cockpit. Notes steady handling at 150 knots. The TBF-1 incorporates Wright R-2600-8 Cyclone engine. 1,700 horsepower. 13.5-foot propeller diameter. Internal weapons bay carries 1 Mark 13 torpedo. 2,160 pounds. Or 4 500-pound bombs. Bureau of Aeronautics Specification SD-111 states, design shall provide folding wings to facilitate carrier storage, reducing span from 54 feet 2 inches to 19 feet. Production accelerates after Pearl Harbor. Grumman produces 2,290 units. General Motors takes over. 7,546 TBM variants follow. Rail transport from Bethpage to Norfolk handles 100 aircraft monthly by mid-1942. The contrast stuns planners. Devastator production, 10 monthly at peak. TBF production, 550 units in 1942 alone. Japanese torpedo bomber production, 147 total that year. Assembly lines run 24 hours. Riveting fuselages. Calibrating 50 caliber turret guns. Installing self-sealing fuel tanks. The Devastator lacked these. At Midway, Japanese 20mm rounds turned Devastators into fireballs. The TBF's tanks reduced loss rates from 86% to 22% by 1944. By December 1942, 1,886 carrier aircraft assembled. 550 are TBFs. Japan produces 1,771 total naval planes. The mathematics favor America. The Avenger represents engineered resilience. Mass production ensures operational superiority. Each aircraft costs $36,000. Each replacement pilot requires 200 flight hours training. America has both. Japan has neither. The hangar's organized efficiency reflects national mobilization. Prototypes become fleet assets within months. Democracy's arsenal awakens. June 1941. Harvard University Underwater Sound Laboratory. Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Researchers align piezoelectric transducers in acoustic tanks.
Oscilloscopes flicker with submarine signatures. The Mark 14 torpedo has failed. 60% failure rate in field tests. Straight running.
No homing capability.
U-boats sink 100,000 tons monthly. Dr. Frederick Hunt directs the laboratory. Appointed June 1941. Bell Telephone Laboratories sends engineer J. Donald Harris. Hydrophone specialist. Together they design the impossible, a torpedo that listens. The Mark 24 specifications: 19 inches diameter, 84 inches long, 680 pounds weight, 4 hydrophones sensitive to 24 to 30 kilohertz, propeller noise frequency, battery-powered electric motor, 12 knots speed, 92-pound Torpex warhead. Hunt's proposal reads, torpedo shall employ battery-powered electric propulsion at 12 knots, 92-pound Torpex warhead, designed for aerial deployment from 200 to 300 feet altitude. The contrast with existing weapons shocks Navy brass. Mark 14 torpedo, straight runner, contact exploder, 46% dud rate. Mark 24, acoustic homer, magnetic influence exploder, 18% hit rate in combat. Western Electric begins production. General Electric joins. 4,000 units by 1945. Secure convoy shipments to forward bases commence March 1943. Testing begins December 7, 1942. Exactly 1 year after Pearl Harbor. Target barge at 1,000 yards. Hydrophones acquire. Torpedo circles twice. Direct hit. Japan has no acoustic technology. Won't until ineffective 1945 experiments. The laboratory operates in controlled isolation. Outside, 2,603 Allied merchant ships lost to submarines in 1942. Inside, engineers perfect the Hunter. 10% of Navy's research budget allocated here. U-boat successes drive urgency. Operation Drumbeat. American coast. 300,000 tons sunk in 6 months. Japanese submarines equally deadly. 15% of Solomon Islands supply convoys disrupted. The Mark 24 answers both threats. 4,000-yard effective range. 18% combat success rate. Compared depth charges. 9% success. 3-minute dive requirement for submarines becomes death sentence. For operational security, it's designated a mine Mark 24 mine. Enemies never realize it's a torpedo. German intelligence reports new American mine, effectiveness unknown, Japanese naval intelligence. No acoustic weapons confirmed. The wooden crates labeled Mark 24 mine contain revolution, undetectable predator, submarine killer, Pacific game changer. March 19, 1943, Pearl Harbor Naval Base, Hawaii. Dockworkers maneuver crates onto piers. Mark 24 mine stenciled on wood. TBF-1C aircraft lined on tarmac. Aluminum skins gleam in Hawaiian sun. Admiral Chester Nimitz authorizes deployment. February 1943 directive. Transfer acoustic weapons from Atlantic stocks. Lieutenant Commander Frederick Ashworth oversees integration. Torpedo Squadron VT-11. Logs 85% readiness. Japanese planners assume Allied anti-submarine efforts limited to depth charges. 9% success rate. The Mark 24 elevates kill probability to 22%. First quarter 1944. 2 submarines sunk. TBF-1C models adapt Mark 24 via underwing racks. Release at 50 to 200 feet altitude. 120 to 150 knots speed. Supporting logistics include 10,000 AN/C RT-1 sonobuoys manufactured monthly. Nimitz's operational order states, prioritize acoustic torpedoes against IJN-I-class submarines employing silent running below 150 feet. Atlantic success drives Pacific deployment. For U-boats destroyed by May 1943. 340 Mark 24 units released for Pacific use. Guadalcanal just concluded. Japanese submarines transported 60% of reinforcements there. The mathematics are compelling. April 1943. 45 armed TBFs operational in Pacific. Japan operates 63 active submarines. Each submarine averages 3,000 tons displacement. Each Mark 24 weighs 680 pounds. Supporting infrastructure expands. 15 escort carrier groups equipped. 20 to 24 TBFs per carrier. 485-mile combat radius. 1,000-pound weapon load. Weekly sorties average 12 per aircraft. The contrast with Japanese capabilities widens. Japan lacks sonobuoys.
No acoustic torpedoes.
No mass production. Submarine losses mount. 3 in first quarter 1944. 6 in second quarter. 9 in third quarter. Pacific submarine warfare transforms. Silent running no longer guarantees survival. Deep diving becomes trap, not escape. American industrial might meets Japanese warrior tradition. With weapons in place, the campaign begins. Silence offers no protection. Depth provides no sanctuary. The hunter has arrived. June 15, 1944. Waters off Saipan, Mariana Islands. TBF-1C radar operator adjusts AN/APS-3 scope. Subsurface echoes appear. Invasion beaches ahead. Japanese submarine I-6 submerged nearby. Captain Zenji Orita commands I-6. Expects 48-hour resupply window. Submerged transit to Saipan. Deliver ammunition. Extract wounded. Standard mission profile. Lieutenant John Burns from VC-69 files engagement report. Sonobuoy contact at 5 miles. Mark 24 dropped. 10-second arming delay. For minute run time. Homing circuit activates. 2 circles. Hull contact at 125 feet. Burns after-action summary. Torpedo tracked target acoustics. Executing 2 circles prior to hull contact at 125 feet depth. The damage is severe. Pressure hull breached. Batteries flooded. Chlorine gas spreading. Orita signals distress. American signals intelligence intercepts. Hull breaches. Unable maintain depth. Surfacing. I-6 surfaces. Crew abandons ship. 35% reduction in delivered munitions during Saipan campaign. 1 damaged submarine equals 180 tons undelivered fuel. Critical shortage for Japanese defenders. The Marianas campaign expends 65 Mark 24 torpedoes. 3 confirmed damages. 2 probables. Japanese submarine effectiveness plummets. Resupply missions curtailed. Isolated garrisons starve. These interceptions curtail tungsten shipments by 12 tons monthly. Japanese aircraft engine production drops. 950 units monthly to 620. Forced reallocation from carrier defense to ground support. American production continues climbing. 85 new submarines commissioned in 1944. Japan commissions 18. The disparity grows exponentially. Sonobuoy technology proves decisive. AN/CRT-1 provides 5-mile detection radius. 1 to 2 kilohertz frequency range. Battery life 8 hours. Production reaches 2,500 weekly. Japanese countermeasures fail.
No equivalent sensors. No acoustic DACOUs.
No effective tactics. Standard evasion assumes visual detection. Diving deep. Running silent. Against acoustic weapons, both increase vulnerability. The Mark 24's success rate climbs. Initial deployments, 15%. After crew training, 22%. Compare conventional attacks, 6% success. Each damaged submarine requires months of repair. Japanese yards already overwhelmed. 2 floating dry docks sunk. 3 major facilities bombed. Repair capacity 20% of need. Supply lines strangle. Frontline units report critical shortages. Ammunition, medical supplies, food. The submarine lifeline severed. Island garrisons isolated.
Stratégique withdrawal impossible.
July 10, 1944. Leyte Atoll, Caroline Islands. Escort carrier USS Fanshawe Bay. Ordnance handlers transfer Mark 24 crates via cargo nets. Deck lights glare. Mechanics calibrate TBF bomb racks. Precise release mechanisms critical. 1 degree misalignment means missed target. Captain Harold Hopkins commands Task Group 30.2. Coordinates hunter-killer operations. Aviation machinists from VC-68 report 92% aircraft availability. Allied planners forecasted 15% field reliability. Battery humidity issues expected. Modifications solve problems. Humidity-resistant casings. Improved seals. Reliability reaches 55%. Third quarter 1944. 3 Japanese submarines sunk. Fanshawe Bay operates 20 to 24 TBFs. Combat radius 485 miles. 1,000-pound weapon load. Supply networks deliver 1,500 Mark 24s monthly. 15,000 sonobuoys. 12 Liberty ships dedicated to forward delivery. Hopkins Patrol Directive. Sonobuoy patterns extend surveillance to 8 nautical miles. Enhancing radar limitations in adverse weather. The logistics chain impresses. Pearl Harbor to Ulithi, 2,800 miles. Monthly deliveries, 40,000 tons supplies, including specialized ordnance, acoustic torpedoes, sonobuoys, spare hydrophones. Enhanced resupply reduces Japanese effectiveness. Pre-Mark 24, 1.2 merchant sinkings per submarine sortie. Post-deployment, 0.3 sinkings. 65 convoy vessels freed for Philippine operations. 150,000 troops deployed. American sonobuoy production reaches industrial scale. Weekly output, 2,500 units. Monthly, 10,000. Annual, 120,000. Japan produces 0 equivalent sensors. No acoustic technology. No production capacity. Hunter-killer groups multiply. 1943, 8 groups. Mid-1944, 20 groups. End 1944, 35 groups. Each group averages 1 carrier for destroyer escorts. Typical patrol pattern emerges. TBFs launch at dawn. 8-hour patrol. Sonobuoy drops every 30 minutes. Acoustic monitoring continuous. Contact protocols refined. First aircraft marks. Second attacks. Third confirms. Maintenance procedures standardized. Mark 24 torpedoes checked daily. Battery voltage tested. Hydrophones cleaned. Seals inspected. Ready rates exceed 90%. Training intensifies. Pilots practice drops. Different altitudes. Various speeds. Sea states. Acoustic operators learn submarine signatures. Merchant ships. Warships. Biologics. Discrimination improves. Japanese submarine losses mount. July, 2 sunk, 1 damaged. August, 3 sunk, 2 damaged. September, 4 sunk, 3 damaged. Attrition unsustainable. Submarine force hemorrhaging. The noose tightens. Every strait monitored. Every channel patrolled. Sonobuoy barriers across transit routes. Mark 24 stocks positioned. Crews trained. The systematic destruction continues. August 1944.
Kure Naval Arsenal, Hiroshima Prefecture, Japan.
Engineers affix rubber coatings to Kaiten submarine prototype propellers. Test tanks bubble with compressed air. Attempting acoustic signature reduction. Results disappointing. Rear Admiral Katsuo Abe heads submarine development. Issues countermeasure orders. Field failures mount. Japanese Type 95 decoys generate broadband noise. 10 to 40 kilohertz range. Mark 24 uses narrowband filters. Decoys ineffective. Imperial Navy anticipates noise-dampening shrouds will reduce detection 45%. Trials reveal 8% efficacy. The Mark 24's hydrophones too sensitive. Discrimination circuits too sophisticated. Abe's memorandum. Prioritize reduced speed operations at 5 knots. Minimize cavitation. Supplemented by decoy launches. 5 knots makes submarines sitting targets. Transit times triple. Fuel consumption increases. Exposure duration extends. Vulnerability multiplies. The countermeasures worsen survival rates. Japan outfits 12 submarines with acoustic baffles. Expensive. Time-consuming. Marginally effective. Same period, America deploys 650 Mark 24s. The asymmetry is absolute. Ineffective adaptations contribute to 18% fleet depletion in 1944. Resources shift from offensive patrols to defensive escorts. Post-Leyte Gulf, submarine screens fail. 28 Japanese warships lost. Technical staff experiments desperately. Anechoic coatings, propeller shrouds, engine mufflers, electric drive systems. Nothing works. The Mark 24 adapts faster than countermeasures develop. American responses include frequency agility. Later Mark 24 variants shift detection bands. Japanese countermeasures obsolete before deployment. Technology race already lost. The Carolines see 45 torpedo drops. 2 submarines sunk. For damaged, success rate climbing. Japanese naval intelligence estimates American acoustic torpedo stocks at 200. Actual number, 2,000 operational, 2,000 in reserve. Resource allocation reveals priorities. Japan, 12 modified submarines, 50 decoys produced. America, 35 hunter-killer groups, 4,000 torpedoes manufactured. Kure Arsenal's efforts continue. Diminishing materials. Fewer specialists. Bombing disrupts production. B-29 raids destroy machine shops. Submarine pens damaged. Repair capacity eliminated. Test results filed. Countermeasures ineffective. Recommendations. Avoid American patrol areas. Impossible advice. Patrol areas everywhere. The Pacific has become American Lake. Defensive innovations fail. Allied pursuits intensify. Technology gap widens. Industrial capacity determines outcomes. Japan cannot compete, cannot adapt, cannot survive. The arsenal struggles illustrate the divide. One nation innovating, one nation dying. Acoustic warfare's verdict is final. September 22, 1944. South China Sea.
En route to Singapore.
I-class submarine surfaces at dusk. Ballast tanks venting. Crew scans for aircraft. Standard procedure. Visual detection assumed primary threat. Commander Tatsunosuke Ariazumi previously commanded I-8. Successful Yanagi missions. This voyage different. TBF patrols span 800-mile sectors from Guam. Mark 24's 400-yard acquisition radius covers choke points. Japanese High Command scheduled 10 Yanagi voyages in 1944. Transfer 8,500 tons strategic materials. Only 4 missions completed. Mark 24 interceptions forfeit 1,200 tons molybdenum. Critical for German armor production. These submarines carry irreplaceable cargo. Opium for medical use. Rubber for tires. Tungsten for armor-piercing rounds. Blueprints for technology exchange. Gold for purchasing Swiss francs. Each loss compounds strategic isolation. Ariazumi's intercepted signal. Enemy air surveillance extends detection beyond horizon limits, necessitating deeper transits. Deeper transits increase fuel consumption. Reduce speed. Extend exposure. Battery endurance limits diving duration. Snorkels help but create noise. More detectable signatures. Catch-22 situation. TBF patrol patterns optimize coverage. Dawn launch. Sonobui drops at calculated intervals. Barrier coverage across likely routes. Acoustic monitoring stations process returns. Vector aircraft to contacts. 8 Yanagi transits disrupted. Strategic materials lost. Technology transfer prevented. Germany loses access to Japanese radar components. 30% reduction. Allied air superiority in Normandy benefits. Bomber production unhindered. Each thwarted mission costs 250 tons cargo. Japan's submarine construction. 14 hulls annually. Losses. 32 in 1944. Mathematics ensured defeat. Lieutenant Paul Schratz commands USS Growler. Submarine versus submarine. His patrol reports document Japanese evasion attempts. Radical course changes. Depth variations. Speed bursts. Nothing defeats acoustic tracking. The South China Sea becomes killing ground. American submarines. aircraft, surface groups, coordinated operations. Japanese submarines must transit. No alternative routes. Geographic bottleneck. Sonobui grids create walls. Acoustic barriers across straits. Malacca, Lombok, Sunda. Every passage monitored. Mark 24 stocks prepositioned. Response times minimal. The intercontinental conduit fractures. Berlin-Tokyo connection severed. Technology exchange halted. Strategic materials interdicted. Axis cooperation ends. Each nation isolated. Japanese submarine force reorganizes. Offensive operations suspended. Defensive missions only. Supply runs to isolated garrisons. Even these fail. Acoustic weapons make every mission suicide. The Yanagi missions represented hope. Technology sharing. Resource exchange. Axis coordination. The Mark 24 destroys that hope. Germany and Japan face defeat alone. October 23, 1944. Leyte Gulf, Philippine Islands. TBF squadrons circle through rain squalls. Instrument panels illuminate. Faint sonar pings from deployed buoys. The largest naval battle in history unfolds below. Vice Admiral Takeo Kurita commands center force. Expects submarine pickets to shield surface units. Japanese doctrine. Submarines provide early warning. Screen capital ships. Engage pursuing forces. Mark 24 strikes on I-54 and I-56 compromise 25% of screen. Battleships exposed. Carrier aircraft attack unopposed. The Musashi takes 19 torpedo hits from Avengers. 73,000-ton battleship sunk. Ensign Gordon Gates from VC-21 documents confirmed kill. Acquisition at 300 yards. Detonation verified by debris and oil. Coordinates 10 degrees 50 minutes north. 125 degrees 25 minutes east. Combined Mark 24 and Hedgehog operations yield 120 drops. 52% success rate. Production surges 1,200 torpedoes monthly, supporting 20 hunter-killer groups. Submarine attrition facilitates Admiral Halsey's carrier strikes. 36 Japanese warships lost at Leyte. For carriers, 3 battleships, 10 cruisers. The Imperial Navy ceases to exist as effective force. Japanese submarine losses at Leyte. 5 confirmed. Part of 32 submarines lost in 1944. 22 to aircraft. The Mark 24 accounts for 40% of aerial kills. American production continues escalating. Monthly TBF output, 350 units. Monthly Mark 24 production, 1,200. Monthly Sonobui production, 10,000. Industrial warfare at scale. The Philippines campaign depends on secure supply lines. 200,000 tons monthly required. Japanese submarines threaten 10%. Mark 24 deployments reduce threat to 2%. Acceptable losses. Hunter-killer effectiveness peaks. Average patrol, 8 hours. Sonobuis deployed, 24. Area covered, 200 square miles. Submarines detected, 0.3 per sortie. Submarines killed, 0.06 per sortie. These statistics mask human cost. Each submarine carries 80 to 100 crew. Total Japanese submarine personnel lost, 22,000. Each Mark 24 kill represents 100 lives. American losses minimal. 12 TBFs lost to all causes during anti-submarine operations. 48 aircrew. The exchange ratio, 458 to 1. Leyte Gulf demonstrates transformed warfare. Submarines cannot operate. Surface forces lack protection. Air power dominates. Acoustic weapons multiply effectiveness. Industrial capacity determines victory. The battle's outcome was predetermined. Not by courage. Not by tactical brilliance. By production statistics. By technological superiority. By acoustic torpedoes that turned ocean depths into killing fields. The Pacific belonged to America. June 10, 1944. Central Atlantic. 800 miles west of Azores. Radio operators aboard USS Bogue decode ultra intercepts. I-52's projected course plotted. Coffee stains mark charts. The golden submarine approaches. Lieutenant Jesse Taylor leads VC-69 search. Commander Hankyu Sasaki maintains I-52's radio silence. Standard protocol for Yanagi missions. No transmissions until arrival. I-52 carries extraordinary cargo. 2,300 tons total. 146 gold bars. $2 million value. 109 tons opium for medical conversion. Optical equipment. Machine tools. Blueprints for German jet engines. Japanese officers anticipate uneventful 12,000-mile passage. Corée to Lorya. 3 months submerged. Ultra-intelligence changes probabilities. Random intercept chance. 3%. Directed intercept. 50%. Taylor's flight log. Initial contact via sonobuoy at 1,200 yards. Pattern deployment initiated. The Bogue Task Group fields 16 TBFs. 25 sonobuoys deployed in barrier pattern. Search altitude 200 feet. Visibility 3 miles in haze. Enigma-derived intelligence enables precise positioning. Submarine expected at specific coordinates. Specific time. Margin of error. 5 miles. 2 hours. The ambush is perfect. The cargo's importance extends beyond gold. Optical equipment for German tanks. Aluminum for aircraft. Rubber for tires. Technology exchange blueprints. Radar designs. Acoustic torpedo countermeasures ironically. Terminating this mission curtails Japan-Germany exchange worth $4.5 million. German jet engine development delayed. Japanese radar improvements prevented. Optical equipment shortage continues. The gold represents 0.8% of Japan's wartime reserves. Desperate payment for desperate technology. Never delivered. Never recovered. Still rests 17,000 feet deep. Previous Yanagi missions succeeded. I-8, I-34, I-29. Each delivered critical materials. This 5th mission is different. American intelligence knows. American aircraft wait. The Pacific-Atlantic connection matters strategically. Technology sharing between Axis powers. Resource exchange. Morale boost. The Mark 24 severs this lifeline. Coordinates align. Search pattern converges. Sonobuoys detect. The acoustic noose tightens. I-52 has hours remaining. The hunters close. June 23, 1944. Mid-Atlantic. Position 1516 north, 4007 west. Taylor's TBF bay doors open at 150 feet. Mark 24 releases. Splashes into turbulent swells. The hunt's climax begins. Sasaki orders emergency dive. 200 feet. 70-degree course change. Standard evasion for visual attack. Against acoustic homing, meaningless. The torpedo arms on water entry. Hydrophones activate. Searching. The Mark 24 circles at 12 knots. Autonomous hunter. No guidance needed. Propeller noise at 24 kilohertz draws it. 24 seconds of homing. Impact. Bogue's War Diary. Detonation observed at 22:55 Zulu. Submarine destroyed. 112 personnel presumed lost. A second TBF drops another Mark 24. Insurance. For mile oil slick confirms kill. Debris surfaces. Life jackets. Wood fragments. No survivors. The golden submarine is gone. The sinking aborts the 5th Yanagi run. Germany loses 20% tin imports. V-weapon programs delayed. Metal shortages compound. Technology exchange terminated. 680 pounds of torpedo. 75-day voyage ended. 9,000 aerial torpedoes produced in 1944. One ends Axis cooperation. The tactical success masks strategic victory. Japan-Germany connection severed. Isolation complete. Each nation faces defeat alone. No technology sharing. No resource exchange. No coordinated strategy. I-52's loss resonates. Tokyo lists submarine overdue July 1944. Berlin naval attaché notes absence.
Replacement mission impossible.
No submarines available. Route compromised. The wreck remains undiscovered until 1995. 17,400 feet deep. Gold intact. Estimated value $25 million. Paul Tidwell's expedition finds opium bricks. Gold bars. Human remains. American verification occurs within 12 hours. Acoustic recordings analyzed. Debris photographed. Intelligence confirmed. Monthly Pacific submarine attrition reaches 14%. The engagement demonstrates acoustic warfare evolution. No visual contact required. No surface engagement. No extended pursuit. 1 aircraft. 1 torpedo. 1 submarine eliminated. This precision stems from integrated systems. Intelligence provides location. Aircraft delivers weapon. Acoustic guidance ensures hit. Production supplies quantity. Training ensures quality. The entry splash signifies empire's end. Japan's desperate outreach fails. Germany receives no materials. Technology exchange stops. Each nation isolated. Defeat accelerated. June 24, 1944. USS Bogue steaming toward Casablanca. Intelligence officers review Sonobui recordings. Combat Information Center crowded. Debris photos spread across tables. Confirmation process begins. Captain Aurelius Vossler authenticates report. I-52 destroyed. Mission accomplished.
Berlin Naval Attaché cables Tokyo.
Loss confirmed through diplomatic channels. Analysis utilizes AN/CRT-1 recordings. Acoustic signature matches I-class submarine. Detonation pattern consistent with Mark 24. Oil slick indicates catastrophic hull breach. Office of Naval Intelligence Assessment. Mark 24 efficacy. 22% in engagements. Surpassing depth charges by 13%. Success prompts expansion. 35 hunter-killer groups authorized. 5 additional Japanese submarines lost by December. I-365. I-362. RO-50. I-351. I-47. The site's gold remains controversial. Salvage attempts in 1995. Legal battles over ownership. Japanese government claims. Insurance companies dispute. Gold stays 17,000 feet deep. Tokyo's reaction is muted. No public announcement. Submarine simply disappears. Families notified months later. Missing, presumed lost, no details. No location. No explanation. Germany feels impact immediately.
Tin sota kritiko.
Aircraft production slowed. Optical equipment unavailable. Rubber substitutes fail. Technology exchange ended. American production accelerates. Mark 24 monthly output. 400 units in January. 800 in June. 1,200 in December. 4,000 total manufactured. These torpedoes account for 37 confirmed submarine kills. 6 Japanese. 31 German.
Plus damage.
Probables. Shared kills. True number higher. The technology evolution continues. Mark 27 developed for submarine launch. Mark 32 for surface ships. Mark 35 nuclear variant. FIDO spawns family. Cost analysis impresses. Mark 24 unit cost. $8,000. Japanese submarine $2 million. Exchange ratio. 250 to 1. Training programs expand. Every carrier group equipped. All pilots qualified. Acoustic operators specialized. Maintenance crews certified. Institutional knowledge spreads. The Pacific changes. Submarines cannot operate freely. Supply lines secured. Island garrisons isolated. Strategic mobility lost. Tactical options eliminated. The echo of FIDO's success reverberates. Acoustic warfare proven. Autonomous weapons validated. Industrial production decisive. Technology gap insurmountable. This engagement redefines naval warfare. Submarines vulnerable. Aircraft dominant. Acoustics revolutionary. November 1944. Naval Operations Room, Washington, D.C. Admirals pin red markers on wall maps. Mark 24 kill sites. Atlantic to Pacific. Pattern emerges. Choke points. Transit routes. Convoy lanes. Systematic elimination. Admiral Ernest King evaluates program. Chief of Naval Operations. Reviews statistics. Before Mark 24. Japanese submarines average 150,000 tons sunk monthly. After deployment, 65% reduction. 28 submarine losses attributed to aerial torpedoes. Admiral Somu Toyota acknowledges reality. IJN Combined Fleet Commander. 35% force reduction. Dispatch states, submarine operations increasingly hazardous. Cumulative production, 4,000 Mark 24s. Confirmed kills, 37 total. 6 Japanese, 31 German. Evolution to Mark 27 for submarine launch begins. Technology proliferates. King's summary. Acoustic torpedoes contributed 18% to total submarine destructions. Securing logistics for major offensives. Impact on operations is decisive. Submarine threat diminished. Monthly shipments reach 1.2 million tons. Pacific bases supplied. Iwo Jima enabled. Okinawa supported. 500,000 personnel deployed. American aviation output 1944. 96,318 aircraft. Japan's wartime total. 28,180. Industrial asymmetry determines outcome. Strategic implications extend beyond Pacific. Atlantic convoy losses decrease. Mediterranean supply lines secure. Global maritime dominance achieved. Acoustic weapons multiply surface fleet effectiveness. The room's deliberations quantify victory. Industrial triumph. Technological superiority. Organizational excellence.
Democràgis arsenal proves unstoppable.
Oceanic dominance measured precisely. Silenced propellers. Preserved convoys. Delivered supplies. Advanced bases. Victory accelerated. Lives saved. The war's outcome determined by production. Innovation. Training. Logistics. The Mark 24 exemplifies all. Secret weapon. Force multiplier. Game changer. September 2nd, 1945. Tokyo Bay. Aboard USS Missouri. Surrender ceremony proceeds. TBF patrols overhead. Vigilant against residual threats. The war ends where acoustic weapons helped win it. Japan began with 63 submarines. Outnumbered U.S. Pacific assets. By surrender, 130 lost. 52 operational. Mostly training units.
Combat effectiveness 0.
Admiral Nimitz oversees proceedings. Post-war analyses credit integrated systems. Intelligence. Aircraft. Acoustic weapons. Production capacity. The combination proved irresistible. Admiral Mitsumasa Yonai's 1946 statement. Allied homing weapons rendered our undersea fleet obsolete, hastening inevitable defeat. Mark 24 decommissioned 1950. Influenced all post-war sonar systems. Cost. 52,000 Axis submariners perished. 22,000 Japanese. 30,000 German. Total investment. $32 million. Torpedoes. Sonobuoys. Training. Infrastructure. Prevented mainland invasion. Potential casualties avoided. 500,000 Americans. 5 million Japanese. From 4,000 torpedoes, 37 submarines confirmed destroyed. Efficiency over quantity. Precision over mass. Technology over tradition. Industry over ideology. The technical disparity was absolute. America. Acoustic torpedoes, sonobuoys, radar, computers. Japan. Visual detection, manual plotting, basic hydrophones, no countermeasures. Legacy extends beyond war. Autonomous weapons proven. Computer-guided systems validated. Acoustic technology advanced. Modern torpedoes descended from FIDO. The Pacific's calm commemorates victory's price. Documented, quantified, remembered. 22,000 Japanese submariners dead. Each represented 100 families, 1,000 dreams, nation's future. But also liberation. Islands freed, peoples liberated, fascism defeated, democracy validated. The arithmetic of war, cruel but necessary. Through data and determination, acoustic advancements sealed conflict's resolution. Industrial democracy triumphed. Technical superiority multiplied by productive capacity equals victory. The Mark 24 proved that innovation, mass-produced and properly employed, determines modern warfare outcomes. Japan never developed countermeasures, never caught up, never had chance. History's lesson: wars are won in factories and laboratories, not just battlefields.